I've received a package from the UK containing these two Lucitent pedals. The ground and pound distortion and the Alma compressor. They don't look spectacular, but damn do they sound good, so let's check them out. Hi everyone, welcome to Bass the World. My name is Gregor Fries and on bass we have my buddy Lars Lehmann today playing both Bass the World signature basses, the Visual Deal and the Sandberg, which you can buy. Let's start with the ground and pound, a distortion based on the legendary Proco Red, but heavily modified to meet our bass players' needs. This pedal is like the Red made for heavier distortions, but the idea behind this is actually very specific. The manual starts with this statement from Lucitent founder Nuno. Being a huge Justin Chancellor and Tool fan, I've always admired his bass tone and have always tried to come close to it. At some point during my band years I was running 3 pedals simultaneously, just to get the JC standard distorted sound that led us to this very moment. Now there is no longer the need to use that turbo distortion plus that separate EQ. That being said, let's hear Lars play a classic Tool song using my Yamaha Billy Sheehan signature bass. That was Tool, right? Or was it Metallica? I can never tell them apart. Now let's have a look at some specs. The ground and pound runs on anything from 9 to 18 volts. As always, it's a good idea to give it as much current as it can take, but Nuno and I both agree that it doesn't actually change the tone much. The pedal has 4 controls. In the upper row we have mix to blend the clean signal with the distortion. The clean side goes through an internal compressor unit with a slight 2:1 ratio. It's not very strong, but it makes a difference that I really like. On the right we have an EQ set, yeah, they're from Britain, control, which is a tilt EQ centered at 250 Hz. With this you can make the distortion darker and brighter, and this proves to be incredibly useful to shape the sound to your liking. It's flat in the middle and doesn't affect your sound unless you want it to. Underneath sits the distortion control, which adds gain to the distortion when you turn it clockwise. On the left we have a master volume. This pedal can be very aggressive. As it's typical for these Red-based circuits, it can even distort the weakest signals, but where this one also really shines is in lower gain territory. When you get it close to the breakup point, that's where I like it the most. I should have dialed in a bit less gain. I keep underestimating how much drive Lars has in its hands, but I hope you get the idea. There will be less gain if you play it with this setting and setup. Now let's move on to the Alma Mark II compressor. I know distortions are much more popular than compressors, and even this being so good, the real star here, in my opinion, is the Alma. Pros will look at the controls and can already tell this is something special, but we should start with a feature that's invisible to the human eye. The Alma runs on 9 to 18 volts, just like the distortion, but this one runs with a voltage doubler. For compressors, headroom is everything, which means more voltage, more better. If you feed the pedal with 18 volts, it will run on 36 volts internally. The Alma is an optical compressor and it's fast. It's one of those that makes you somehow feel like the tone is sticking to your fingers, which I love. And it allows ratios of up to 8:1, which is a lot, so let's try that out. The controls here go the extra mile, it's all there except for attack and release, which is good in my opinion. The first control is the volume for your direct uncompressed signal. Next to it sits COM, controlling the amount of compression you want to add. This is pretty much a gain. If you send a hotter signal into the compressor, it will be triggered harder. Below we have the EQC, now for the Americans, again, but this time we don't have one but two center frequencies. You can choose between 250 and 900 Hz. On the right sits the volume control for the compressed signal, which is an even more versatile mix option in combination with the gain control above. And then we have the ratio switch offering 2:1, 4:1 and 8:1. This controls how hard the compression kicks in. For most players 2:1 or 4:1 will be the go-to, but I love the 8:1 as well. That's a setting that I would personally rarely ever use, but as you've just heard in the last example, it's a lot of fun. And of course we have a LED indicating how much compression is applied. This is ridiculously, what a word, good. There are different types of compressors, but in this category, optical compressors, this is now my favorite. It's amazing. And that's it, the Ground and Pound and the Alma Mark II from Lucid Hand out of the UK. If you want to check them out, there are some links in the video description below. And that's it, buy our merch, like this video, subscribe to, I don't know, someone else, and bye!
Basement Bro